Hello everybody, I'm Crystal Snapdragon, and in this video we're going to look at character creation for Dragon Nest. This game has been around for quite some time now. I believe it was released back in 2010, but even for its time, it's a great game to play. It has incredible combat and the dialogue. I found myself laughing at the dialogue all the time. So if you're just looking for a classic MMO to play, I completely recommend this game. You'll really enjoy it. As per character creation, it has a lot of classes to choose from. It actually has 9 general classes, or base classes if you will, to choose from. And then each base class has about 4 specializations, and then we have a few spin-off classes as well. That's why there's 2 pages worth of classes here. So we're going to begin by looking at the base classes. This is the Sorceress. We have a combat video here, information about the class, and then down here is the specialization tree. And as you can see, there's about 4 specializations here for Sorceress. So Sorceress, this is your magic damage class, intermediate level difficulty, although a beginner could play this class. I played it as a beginner. A really easy class to master. If you look at her specialization tree, a Sorceress can become an elemental lord or a force user. Elemental lords can become Solanas, which wield fire magic. Watch the combat video here. Elemental users can also become water magic users, or the Elustra, as we see here. And I love that staff. Now if we look at the force user specialization line, she can become a smasher that wields light energy, or a majesty that uses the power of gravity and darkness to manipulate her enemies. I love that staff so much. So that's our Sorceress. Both specializations are high magic DPS. If we look at the Cleric, Clerics can be either tanks or healers. Difficulty is expert. If we look at their specialization tree, Clerics can become paladins. This is going to be your defense specialization line, their tanky specialization line. Paladins can become guardians. Watch the video here. Some of these creatures that they're fighting, I swear. They can become crusaders. If we look at the priest specialization line, this of course is going to be your healer. Priests can become saints, and I love that hat. I mean, that outfit is dapper. They can also become inquisitors. Next we have the academic here. This is your long-ranged attack, but also supportive class, because she can provide various buffs. If we look at her specialization tree, she can be an engineer. And this outfit that she's wearing just reminds me so much of Estelia, which if you haven't played that game, it's incredibly good. The engineers can specialize as shooting stars, ranged missile shooting capabilities. She launches powerful attacks with her loyal aide, Alfredo. That's funny. She can also be a gear master. Master of machines such as the mechanical tower and mecha duck. She can also have the alchemist specialization, uses alchemy to support her allies, can be an adept, uses magma created from earth energy and ice with the power of water. That's pretty cool. And then we have the physician. So this is a cure for the allies. So as you can see here, she DPS as well as buffing and healing or supportive class. Next we have the Kali. This is a beginner class, sort of like a shaman. You can become a screamer specialization or a dancer specialization. We start with the screamer specializations. This is dark summoner, becomes possessed with spirit powers. So again, sort of like a shaman, and I love that outfit. I think if I started to play this game again, I would probably try and become a dark summoner. You can also be a soul eater, makes use of talismans to put curses on her enemies. On the dancer end, we have the Blade Dancer, makes tornadoes by spinning her chakram. And of course, if you guys are Xena fans, chakrams are awesome and so cool, and maybe I would make a Blade Dancer if she has a chakram and name her Xena. That'd be awesome. Although I assume Xena's already taken. Spirit Dancer. She could also be a Spirit Dancer. Possesses herself with ancient spirits to fight off her enemies. I would oh man, if someone made a character named Xena and it's not the class that uses a chakram, I will flip shit! Because it's so perfect, it's like a missed opportunity. Next we have the Assassin. Of course, this is going to be your dexterous DPS class, intermediate difficulty. They can become chasers or bringers. If we look at the chaser specialization, we have the Ripper. Appears silently out of the darkness. So I guess this is sort of like your ganker class if you're into Elder Scrolls Online. We also have the Raven, hidden weaponry that never fails to catch his enemies by surprise. So another ganker. We're just going to call this the ganker specialization portion of the tree. We also have the Bringer. Light Fury uses the power of good in herself to punish enemies. Oh, he was meditating. That was pretty cool. And then we have the Abyss Walker. Uses the power of dark in herself. Be a vampire. Next we have the Lancer. Lancer is going to be your AoE DPS class. If we look at the specialization, she can be a Piercer or a Nidus. If we look further into the specializations, we have the Flurry. Travels like the wind. Woo-wee. Look at that. So again, AoE damage. Sting Breezer. So here she enhances, her weapons with magic. On the Nidus specialization line, we have the Avalanche, so ice magic. And then we have a word that I hope I say correctly, Randgrid, which I probably didn't. That's probably so wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just completely off base. Crushes all her enemies who dare stop her. This is your Lancer. Next we have the Machina. This is your humanoid animal class, melee fighter, giant knuckle. I guess sort of would be your pugilist or your monk. Difficulty is expert. Her lines are Patrona or Launcher. If we look at her further specialization, it's Defensio. Protects her allies, so of course a supportive class as well. Ruina specializes in physical skills. Well, that's pretty cool. Look at her throw that, whatever this contraption is, at her enemies. She's also a launcher, so she can be an impactor, explosive bursts of light. And then we have a Buster. This is another support class here. That's our Machina. On the first page, again, we have some of the spin-off classes up here, but we have two more base classes down here. If we begin with Archer, this is your beginner difficulty. Archers, I feel like, are always beginner difficulty classes. They're really easy to play and master. This is going to be sort of your ranged DPS class, of course. We have the Bowmaster and Acrobat specializations. The Bowmaster can become a sniper. And then we have Artillery, and an Artillery uses magic and arrows. We also have the Acrobat specialization. They can become a Tempest. Apparently uses sort of storms. We also have the Windwalker, who glides through the skies and attacks from midair. Oh, look at that breakdancing. She was totally breakdancing. Next we have the Warrior, a tanky class, as well as a melee fighter. Difficulty is beginner. They can be swordmasters or mercenaries. If we begin with the swordmaster class here, or specialization, excuse me, they can be gladiators or moon lords. I love his hat. These hats are so on point. Mercenaries can become barbarians. Or destroyers. And now if we look at the spin-off classes and we begin with the Vena Plaga. Vena Plaga is just a spin-off class for a Lancer, of course, so again is AoE damage. We have the Bleed Phantom, that's a spin-off of the Assassin. The Oracle Elder is a spin-off of the Kali. The Ray Mechanic, spin-off of the Academic. I love that hat. Do you guys see that hat? The Black Mara is a Sorceress. Arch Heretic is a Cleric. We also have the Silver Hunter, Archer. That's a cool bow. And then we have the Dark Avenger, which is the spin-off of the Warrior. So those are all the classes for Dragon Nest. So we're going to begin by creating a Kali. Looks like we can choose her gestures.
No! No, no, no! You're the worst! Certainly.
We can look at her costumes. That's the hot costume. Guild costume. Ice Dragon equipment costume. Let's do her guild costume. Okay. Over here we have the character customization. There aren't any sliders. Actually, let's just look at her current view. Okay. We can choose her head. This is basically just the hair. Looks like we only have 4 hairs to choose from, and then of course we can choose their color. I think I'm just gonna go with white. We have 3 faces to choose from. We can choose her skin color. We can also choose her eye color. I'm gonna give her blue eyes. We can choose the color for her top. Her bottom. There we go. Then we can give her a name. Xena! Is it taken? Oh. That better be the one that uses the chakram. Alright everyone, well we've created our character. Thank you so much for watching. I will make a short gameplay video when I get the chance. This game is really good and I do want to showcase how good it is. I'm still mad that we didn't get to call this character Xena, so whomever out there has their character named Xena in this game, it better be a blade dancer. It better use a chakram, or I'm gonna be really disappointed in you. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I make these videos all the time, so be on the lookout. I'm also gonna make a video for the mobile version of Dragon Nest. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye y'all!